It's rolling. You can say it. Oh, you want me to go first?
I need you to go first.
I'm Caroline Odum.
And I'm Kimmie Brady. Am I supposed to say and after? Never mind, it's fine.
Dirt everywhere.
It was definitely out of my comfort zone, I guess. I'm pretty easygoing. Like, I don't really care, but you know, like, you take your sock off at the end of the day, it was like, there's just dust everywhere.
No, literally, it's like you would get back to the, like, where we were staying after the day, and there's just dirt everywhere. Like, one of my shirts, it was just ruined after that trip, but... So I was sharing the gospel, and so I got to the end, and I was like, so do you want to accept Christ? He's like, no. I was like, what do I say? Like, what?
So discouraging.
Yeah. And so I just was like, oh, his friend's right there. So I was like, did you hear any of that? And he was just like, he nodded his head. And I was like, so do you want to accept Christ? And he said yes. And I was like, wait, what? Like, because I had never had that happen before. This is my first time anyone has, like, said yes to me sharing the gospel. I was like, oh, okay. And so then I was able to lead him through a prayer and everything. But it was really cool because, like, that's not who I had in mind to share the gospel with, or even, like, anyone that I was with, but that's who God had in mind, and he had him there with his friend for a reason. And so,
and for me, it was a little different but similar because it was my first mission trip, and I'm 22 now, so that was kind of intimidating because, you know, I'm going on this trip with all these people who grew up in the church, and, like, they've been on, like, 12 mission trips, and I was just like, I am supposed to be a leader on this. Like, what am I supposed to do? I'm not qualified. And so leading up to that day when we left for Bolivia, I was just stressed and anxious, and I remember telling you, I was just like, I don't know what I'm gonna do because I'm not, like, I've never done this before. But that same day that she was able to lead someone to Christ, so was I, and just going through that was just like the most surreal thing. You know, you feel so humbled and small because God used you in such a big way, and in that moment I was like, you don't have to be qualified or called, you know, you just have to say yes and go, and he'll definitely use you in ways that you didn't think he was going to. I think also the My Five, you know, that Pastor talks about really came into it too, because before that trip I was just like, well, I have 5 people that aren't believers, and I know they're not, and I'll be praying for them, and but I'll just keep being friends and just hoping that that moment will come when I'm able to talk to them about Christ. But it's not like that, you know. You have to seek it out, and it's their salvation that's on the line. So I think coming back from that trip really made me see people differently, and it gave me more of a burden for, you know, their salvation, which we toss that around like it's nothing, and like you're waiting on that moment for them to get saved and God will take care of it. But it is like life or death, you know, and if we're able to share with people so that they can have eternal life too, then why wouldn't we?
I think it's important to go on mission trips. Like, yes, you're going to share the gospel, and I'm not diminishing that at all because that's very important, but it's also a huge growing experience. Like, at least for me personally, I know it is. First of all, seeing what God does, like, outside of our little bubble here in Northeast Georgia, and then also getting to encourage missionaries who they might not get to see people from America all the time. Just me personally, like, every mission trip I've gone on, I can remember how the Lord has grown me in specific ways through those mission trips. And then coming back home, it's like you're on fire. You want to share the gospel, so it's like God uses you there, but he also uses you here. So I don't know why, like, you wouldn't say yes. Like, I mean, God's given you an opportunity. Like, just go.
Just go. Just say yes.